and we were on the same card at the LA Staples Center, and he was already a co-feature. I was just making little money. I was just getting in on the undercard uh, with no TV time at the time. He already had a televised slot, but I remember looking over at Richard Schaefer, and I said, "Yo, Rich Schaefer," I said, "Yo," I said, "I can get Canelo." And he looked at me. He said, "Whew, that's a good one, Keith." He says, "Nah, not right now," And what he meant at that time, like Canelo was fresh in America, and what he really meant is like, we got plans for this kid, and we gonna do what we gonna do with him. And it wasn't like we worried about you or we really care about you. I know the difference. That's the thing about really understanding the game. I know the difference when they say like, nah, not right now, because they really don't want it, and nah, not right now because we on a projection. You know, and they had their own projection. It was interesting too. Sugar Shane Mosley had an opportunity to fight Keith Thurman, but at the same time, through Golden Boy, he had an opportunity to fight Canelo Álvarez. And when he weighed, what the pros and cons and what the person this and that was going to be, he took Canelo. It was a bigger fight for him. It was a bigger fight at the time, and he took the Canelo fight. So Canelo is one of the reasons why I never got one of those like pass the torch OG champions like a Shane Mosley, because they gave him to Canelo. So I've always thought that Canelo was beatable. I mean, most fighters are just beatable. We're human beings. The styles makes fights. But I always knew that it's a certain athletic style that is going to give him the most trouble. Floyd was the first one to just play the boxing game, hit and don't get hit against Canelo. Triple G did not pull out the first victory when it was there for the taking. He didn't pull it out. So Canelo closed the show against Triple G on all their rematches and stuff. But I'll tell you, the first person I thought after Floyd that should beat Canelo, that didn't beat Canelo, was Andeslari Lara. I really thought Andeslari Lara had the skills, the boxing IQ to really give Canelo a hard time. And yes, he moved around the ring. Yes, he boxed. And some people say he kind of beat Canelo. Nah, bro, he was running and running and running, and Canelo was walking him down, throwing bombs, giving him a reason to run. He looked scared. He didn't look like he was pointing. He didn't look like he was pop shotting. Like Floyd was pop shotting. Floyd was pop pop. And Floyd didn't run around the ring like Andeslari Lara. He held his ground better, duck, dodge, pivot, did little things by inches and not just running and running around the ring. So I actually didn't like Andeslari Lara's performance. Even though I thought he was capable of defeating Canelo. And then the next one was my amateur brethren, a band that I really admired throughout the amateurs, enjoyed watching his career. Danny Jacobs, man. Danny Jacobs, I know Danny from way back, and I just thought that Danny was going to give Canelo problems. And, Canelo gave Danny problems, and it was very impressive. That's when Canelo started to bring in his slickness with all that head movement, all the drills that he was doing, and he was actually very hard to touch for my boy Danny. So Danny Jacobs, man. So Canelo's impressed me on many, many, many occasions. So I definitely don't put nothing past Canelo Álvarez no more. I've been in his corner for a long time. I did not think the Bivol fight was a good fight because he just kept moving up. You can only move up so much. Them boys are just going to get bigger. Bivol had the reach advantage, and Bivol just had that boxing IQ. If you really want to beat Canelo, you have to have a boxing IQ. So Bivol knew how to just boop, 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 keep him on the outside, keep him on the ropes, never get in close to get hit by hooks, uppercuts. Those are some of Canelo's favorite counter. A little pull shoulder, little shoulder roll from Canelo, but it's not really a shoulder roll. It's instead of this shoulder roll, it's more this shoulder roll so that he can pop, and he'll just kind of, and he'll Magia.
And the drop
Remember,
fade too.
remember he
The
dropped.
drop fade.
Remember he dropped Magia, I think, with one of those uppercuts. Matter of fact. So yeah, man. Bivol was just very smart. So I won't put nothing past Bud, man, because I believe that it just takes the right kind of IQ, the right type of boxing style. Obviously, a really tough training camp. I'm not sure how he's really going to move around with the extra weight on him, yada, yada, yada. Everybody, we all feel that way, but it's up for him to show us what he's going to do. Just like me and my comeback. He's been injured. What's he going to do? It's up to the athlete to show you what he's going to do, man. So, I just think it's a really good fight for the sport. It reminds me of like some of these non-boxing matches, right? Like some of these YouTubers or celebrity boxing or something like that. But in this case, we actually have real boxers, right? So I feel like it's like a mashup, almost like a DJ put it together. Canelo versus Bud Crawford. you know, I feel like it's something unique, something special. It's fun, and we ain't getting punched in the face. So let's just watch the show and enjoy, people. You know what I'm saying? Let's just watch what these champions do. No matter what they do, they're both great. They're both going to continue to be great. But by the end of the day, one will be above the other.
Your eyes.
It's not like I think a lot of people are going to lean towards Canelo. I don't want to say it's like I feel like for the fans, it's coming off 50-50. Like it's hard for me to really uh commit because this is what happened, right? When Canelo just fought the Charlo, right? When he just fought Charlo, he knocked Charlo down. But after he knocked Charlo down and Charlo was using ring movement, he never hit Charlo with another big shot. Okay? This is what Keith Thurman is watching. I'm not saying like, oh, Canelo didn't do good. Like Canelo dominated. That fight he dominated, right? But let's just pay attention to little details, right? After he got dropped, he never got hurt again. Why, you ask? Why did Canelo not hurt him again? Oh, because he was on his bike, because he was using lateral movement, because he was watching with his eyes, and because he was being attentive with his defense, and he was able to make Canelo miss, but he was not able to make him pay. You understand? See, when I said earlier that Keith Thurman always puts himself back in the fight. So what I would have done in that scenario, if I got off the floor, and I get back moving and I got you missing right in front of me, I got it. No matter how hard my punches are, I got to put some skin on you. Bop bop. Bop bop. I gotta make you miss. I gotta make you pay. You know, and to me, that's the name of the game. That's what Floyd did. Bivol had other advantages that made it easier for him, in my opinion. So, but I think they're trying to say Crawford has a small reach advantage, something weird. It's not a big advantage. Well, a few inches is not a big advantage. You're gonna always step in and commit, and people are gonna the inches can be taken away really quick. So I don't really see anybody having a real advantage. So to me, that means they're really right in front of each other, right? When nobody has a real advantage, they're right in front of each other. They're going to be hitting each other. So Crawford just needs to box smart, and I just don't know exactly what kind of game plan that they have. A lot of people don't talk like me, and a lot of people will keep their stuff a little bit more secretive leading up to a fight. It adds into the anticipation. Either their team has a great plan to really try to take it from Canelo, and that's what I like to see, man. Like even if fighters lose, I like to see when people are putting in that effort to win rounds and win fights. So let's just see how much strategy is brought into this fight. You know. Canelo's gonna do him, man. Canelo's not gonna do nothing new. Move forward, lean back, boom, boom, power, drop power. I don't think Canelo's gonna really do anything different, but I'm interested in seeing the tactics on the Crawford side.